own shit. Can't be over here cause we own shit. You ain't on my level, you ain't on shit.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another grown shit session. What's up, Auntie?
What's going on? What's going on? I got audio.
I can't.
We good. We good. Yeah. I'm
What's
just sharing it out on my channel now.
Hey, Aunt Niecy. Hey, Low Keys. Hey, Ben. Welcome, y'all. How's your day going, Auntie?
That long.
That's gonna be your answer every time.
Yeah. Until you ask me how my weekend was.
Then you gonna say short.
Absolutely.
Y'all, we got a treat for y'all today. You know, we are having our first after party tonight, so make sure y'all stay tuned for that over across the street at Auntie's. He cleaning up right now, getting ready for y'all, I guess.
Yeah, no, we're actually we're simulcasting over there right now.
Okay.
We can see anything that goes on in the chat. You know, the link to her stream is in the description. So we're gonna stay live over there for what, about 20 minutes to a half hour or something, and then we cutting it off, and everybody need to bring their ass over here.
Hey, Raven.
And then we need to go back over there. What up, Raven Knight? He a Cowboys fan, so we don't really get along.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's Raven.
Who's your team?
And there's only one team, Giants, Big Blue.
Oh, okay. I'll just stay out of that one.
Huh? That's the only team that exists.
So let's jump right into it. Don't you got something to show me?
Absolutely. Okay. Might want to play this a few times throughout the course of the stream. Okay. You can pretty much bring that up whenever you like and when you're ready, because that's going to be the topic of discussion tonight. We're pretty much going to talk about, I don't even know, I know the title of this was kind of like a difference between black kids and white kids. I don't really think that's the case. I think it's more of a, you know, the difference between, you know, wealth and lack of wealth, you know, in communities, and kind of where it starts, you know, where it starts. So this is a clip from Gil's Arena, you know, when they and this is cool because you have a lot of ex NBA players, you know, blue chip athletes, Kenya Martin, Brandon Jennings, Gilbert Arenas, blue chip athletes, all stars. You know, they made a decent amount of money over the course of their career, but most of them were the first ones in their families to bring, you know, millions of dollars in the door. You know, so they know what it is to grow up on one side and then live up until this point, you know, for more than half of their lifetimes, you know, on the other side as far as wealth is concerned. So at this point, you know, they break a lot of stuff down in this 1 minute for this video.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Advice for youngins coming in when they first get that paycheck. What would be your advice for youngins coming in when they first get that paycheck? What should they do with it first?
So your question, it depends on what you come from. Like, there's no need for KJ to buy me a house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But a lot of parents in a lot of situations, they live vicariously through their kids. So when they make it, we made it. You know what I'm saying? We need this house. It's that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's those pressures that some parents put on their kids, which is unfair.
When you ask white kids, you know, what's the first thing you bought? They've never said anything about buying their parents anything. They're taught to move the money forward, right? So whatever money they get, they're saving. So when they get kids, they can take care of their kids for their kids to take care of their kids. Right. We're taught when we make money, move back.
We gotta take care of our parents.
We gotta take care of our parents. So by the time we all get kids, there's no money left. So there's no generational, we can't use the generational wealth because we're moving it back.
Right.
Okay, that's the clip, E. So I want to give a shout out to everybody that's just coming in here. Make sure you guys either check the description if you're looking at my channel. We will be coming over to TheeEnicole's in a moment. You know, this is simulcast, so we won't be live. But if you want to give your thoughts on that first. E?
I was on mute going in. You hear me? I want to say hi to everybody coming in. Of course, over there on NT side and on this side, we got Sugar. Is that Sugar Bomb? Yeah, I got some
Sugar Bomb.
V-Dub Boogie, Underrated Darkness.
V-Dub Salute, Underrated. Bronze Black Power God. Yeah.
Daniel, Bronze. What's up, Bronze? I think it's interesting because I've personally never thought about it. You know what I'm saying? But it's definitely true. When our people make it, they expect you to come back to the hood and get everybody out. Mm-hmm. Like they really don't get to enjoy themselves because everybody got their hand out.
And I like what somebody said in the chat. You know, a moment ago, somebody said like, you know, the community moves backwards because I know over on our side they call it the community. You know what I'm saying? But nah, that's real. It's like it moves backwards because when you achieve like wealth, and in this case, like they talking about blue chip athletes, you know, kids that have never really come from anything. So you're talking about being able to come into it. This is the type of money that most people don't come into until they're in their late 40s, 50s, 60s, if they're lucky enough to come into it at all. These are kids that come into this type of money at 18, 19 years old, you know, 20 years old. So at that point, just like you said, privileged kids are used to build, you know, they're taught to build their families. You know, that's when you build your families. You put your families in a good space. That's when you start working on your portfolio, working on your investments. Get you a wife. You know what I'm saying? Get you a wife. Establish your connections out in the world. You know, you build a family. You take care of your kids. You put things in place. But in impoverished kids, it's like the first thing I got to do is buy mom a house. First thing I got to do is buy dad a house or buy dad a truck. You know what I'm saying? I got to start Uncle Joe's, you know what I'm saying, laundromat. I got to start, you know what I'm saying, Cousin Ray Ray's record label. You know what I'm saying? Hook him up with all of this stuff. So because of that, you know, you lose a lot of your capital reserve before you even get the chance to get started.
Sugar Bomb says most cultures take care of their elderly. What are we saying? So I think more what we're saying is like, me, I don't have to take care of my parents right now. They can take care of themselves. Whereas the people that he's talking about, a lot of their parents need help with rent, don't have a car, don't have these 401ks or been at jobs forever. We're talking about these people who are plucked out of their unfortunate situations. They get a scholarship or something like that, or they make it to the league. And now they are expected to take care of people who should be taking care of themselves. We're not talking about when your parents can no longer take care of themselves, because yes, we would take care of our parents in that instance. What he's saying is basically the fortunate people that are born with silver spoons in their mouth or whatever, however you want to put it, they're able to use that money and build families and move on, investments, things like that. Our culture, they don't have the opportunity.
Well, also what Kenyon Martin said, which I like the way he started it out. He said straight up, he's like, I didn't realize this. He said, I didn't realize this until I was a father myself. And my son made it to the NBA. This is after he had a long career, you know, a decent career in the NBA himself. And he's like, damn, KJ, his son, he don't have to buy me a house. I got a house. I'm straight. He gets to do whatever he want with his stuff. Like, I'm straight. He don't have to buy me a house. Worst case scenario, just like Sugar Bum said, she's right. Yeah, we take care of our parents when they become elderly. That's kind of what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're you know, that's what we do. You know what I'm saying? We take care of them. They take care of themselves. Then, you know, hopefully they take care of us. But that doesn't mean that they got to pay for us and buy us houses and all of that other stuff. We're supposed to have our own house, you know, at that point. Worst case scenario, you know, if you're doing the right thing by your children, the only thing they should really have to do is sign paperwork, make decisions on your behalf, if anything, once you're not able anymore. You know? make decisions, but they shouldn't have to take care of you as if you're a child. You're just elderly and you might not be able. So you make decisions, but you put the right things in place for them to do that. You know, it's a tough burden for your children to have to buy you a house. Think about it as a parent. It's tough enough to keep a roof over your kid's head. You know what I'm saying? And make sure it's stable. You might want to move. You might want to buy something. You might want to do this. Might want to do that. You still got to stay disciplined, you know, and you do it. You know, there's fluctuating things can happen at work. People lose that, whatever, but the kids don't know anything. It's tough enough to just be a parent and provide for your children, even though it's still something you have to do. Imagine shifting that burden onto your children and making them have to take care of you.
Right.
I'm just saying, as a parent, that's not what you want for your kids.
Saying. Like when your parents get elderly, yeah, of course. I don't plan on sending my parents to a nursing home. I'll be able to do that. However, right now, they are able-bodied and take care of themselves. They're not expecting me, you know, outside of something nice I want to do for them. You know what I'm saying?
What's up, boss lady? Appreciate you.
The Asians push education while 3 generations live in the same home.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. These people also have a home of their own. Whatever. They sell it. All of the wealth stays in there. They choose to do that together. You don't have to buy mom a house because she just didn't have one. It's something that she never had before. It's a shame. I just think it's a shame that children 18, 19 years old are pushed with the burden of having to take care of their 40, 45-year-old parents that are able-bodied, still have their brain cells and everything. Is pretty bad.
And beyond taking care of them, they definitely be having a handout. Mm-hmm. Trying to live vicariously through their kids. So.
And, you know, I would just agree with that. So I think it's just our job as parents, you know, to just make sure we're in the best situation we could be where our children don't have to take care of us. Damn sure we shouldn't have put that pressure on 18, 19, 20-year-olds.
I said NBA players and average people aren't the same.
I mean, an 18, 19-year-old kid going into the NBA is just an 18, 19-year-old kid that just gets $5 million. You know, like, what you think he's going to do with it? You know, he's probably not going to say no to a bunch of people around him that he's known all his life. I've been waiting for this. So it's just, it's a tough burden. You know, you even see situations like this with a guy like Ja Morant. You know, if you know about his story in the NBA, this dude, I don't know if it's a cry for help or whatever, but he's got, you know, he's worth a couple $100 million and he's thrown just money away, just doing stupid stuff, getting caught up with stuff with his own family and the people that are around him. So it's a conundrum, but
is it?
Yeah, that's a good point. DC mentioned.
Generations of successful married people staying together in other cultures. Let's stop trying to burn both ends.
What's up, Misha Mac?
What you think about that?
Do we see 3 generations of successful married couples staying together in other cultures? Let's stop trying to burn both ends again. That's the truth. I mean, look, it is what it is. If I have my own house, why should my children have to buy me a house?
Right.
Yeah.
What about their parents? What about Kobe Bryant's parents?
Well, Kobe Bryant's parents were already pretty straight. You know, his parents were pretty straight, so they didn't need him to buy them a house. You know, his father had already played in the NBA, played basketball overseas, had a very, very successful career. And his mother, I forget what she did, but she was extremely intelligent. And I'm pretty sure she had something going on too. So, you know, multilingual was just a perfect situation, you know, for him. But his parents did have to sign his first NBA contract, Kobe Bryant, that is, because he was only 17 years old, when he came into the league, and they moved out to Los Angeles to, stay with him. He was a kid in LA,
Mhm.
So they understand. And he still ended up, I think a year after he got drafted, something like that, he still ended up meeting some chick on the set of a music video and eloping to Las Vegas. But they ended up living happily ever after. So there was a good thing.
Arrested development is rampant. Look,
I mean, it's just bass backwards where parents expect kids to take care of them. There's a lot of things that are just like backwards, which is one of the reasons why demographics that are behind are behind.
She said they stole some of his memorabilia.
Yeah, I mean, it's Kobe Bryant, though. He's got plenty of it. He'll be all right. Pretty sure, everything stays with his wife anyway.
I haven't proof to what they say.
I mean, when she's talking about 3 generations of people living in a house. I'm not gonna go too far with the troll, but 3 generations of people living in.
What was going on?
Yeah, 3 generations of people living in a house. How many of them are in the NBA?
Amy Banks.
Like, how many of them are in the NBA? You just think about that. Like, those are people who actually they're running businesses day to day. There's a family business. The family is a business.
But we're not gonna sit here and act like this is not something that actually does go on in this culture. When somebody makes it, one of us, you are expected to come and take care of your parents, your aunties, your uncles, your cousins, your friends. Everybody has their hand out. That's a very real thing. So, I mean, quite a few people have come in since we played the clip. So I'm about to play the clip again so y'all can see exactly what we're talking about. Because it definitely is a thing.
Advice for youngins coming in when they first get that paycheck, what should they do with it first?
So your question, it depends on what you come from. Like, there's no need for KJ to buy me a house.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But a lot of parents in a lot of situations, they live vicariously through their kids. So when they make it, we made it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We need this house. It's that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's those pressures that some parents put on their kids, which is unfair.
When you ask white kids, what's the first thing you bought, they've never said anything about buying their parents anything. They're taught to move the money forward, right? So whatever money they get, they're saving. So when they get kids, they can take care of their kids for their kids to take care of their kids. Right. We're taught when we make money, move back.
We gotta take care of our parents.
We gotta take care of our parents. So by the time we all get kids, there's no money left. So there's no generational, we can't use the generational wealth because we're moving it back.
Right.
I think it's a very real thing.
Oh yeah, I mean, just like Gilbert Arenas said it too. Like, look, they're taught to move the money forward. Like, they're taught to move the money forward. Like, understand, like, that's terminology that you really just don't hear in most urban households. You know what I mean? You don't hear terms like move the money forward. They start to hear terms like that because they got millions of dollars. They've gotten millions of dollars in contracts and stuff. So you got agents, you got accountants, you got a lot of people that are coming to you and they talking to you in these terms. Over the years, you start to learn some of this stuff yourself. So in the circles that they're in, which are usually other millionaires, other millionaires and people that manage millionaires' money or do business with millionaires on a daily damn basis, they start to use terms like move the money forward because it's like moving it backwards is it's pretty much the opposite. So when you say moving it forward, you moving it to your kids, so that way they can move it to their kids, so that way they can move it to their kids, and boom, boom, boom. Like you focused on the longevity of your bloodline, not buying your parents a house, who at this point in their life should have bought their own house anyway. That's nothing wrong with getting your parents a gift. If you got it like that.
Right. That's
If you got it like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but I would always say, I don't care how much you make or what the damn sign-in bonuses are, which usually they're not, they're the biggest when they get that second or third contract, but you wait until you get that second contract before you buy anybody else a house. The only person that should really get a house is you.
And let's just be real, on both sides of the track, usually our counterparts, they've been taught these things, whereas we weren't taught financial literacy and, spending within your means and stuff like that. So it's not just the people in your pockets. It's not to even know what to do with the money. They're ready to party, live it up.
And that's why I like Kenyon Martin's perspective, because he's like, dang, you know what I'm saying? I'm a father that I went through because his son just got drafted, to the NBA. His son just got drafted. His career just ended, I think, maybe like 7-8 years ago or something like that. So he's really relatively young out of the NBA. I think Kenyon Martin might be maybe about 44, 45 years. He's not old. He's not an old dude, but he's like, this is just the difference. Like, these are things that I didn't know coming up. So I messed up some money. I messed up some money, but my son ain't gonna have to do that. I already got an accountant. I managed my money. I was able to come back. I know what types of contracts he's going to be getting, what he'll be eligible for, the ranking as far as players in the league is concerned. So he can keep his son, just having that, just knowing like, okay, not only have I gone through this, but I can tell you what mistakes not to make with your money, what mistakes are easy to make with your money. Just being able to do that.
I need to just send me an article saying that Kobe Bryant, after stealing Kobe Bryant's $1.5 million memorabilia, Pam Bryant bought herself a $450,000 house.
Okay, so that did happen.
I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure his wife will sue her for that.
Yeah, because how?
But
wow, I didn't know that.
It's just, I don't understand why it makes sense to move money backwards.
It doesn't.
Now, I'm not saying mom should have a trash, like your mom should live in trash or still live in the hood. Like she still got, what I'm saying? If you have roaches or something like that, or she got to hear police sirens and all of that other stuff, ain't no need to, what I'm saying? You don't buy a house, you rent a house. You rent a house.
Traditional about multiple generations living in a home with no plan, structure, or income, just people doing what they want based off of feelings.
Yeah. Because once you own that house, you stuck with it. She lives in it. It comes with expenses consistently. At least you rent it out. It might cost you a few extra dollars, but you don't have to worry about nothing. You don't have to go over there and maintain nothing. And then when you get your second contract, you move mom out of there. Boom. Now I got 50, 60 million. Now you're locked up. Damn that 5 million. I got 50, 60, 100 million. Now I can go buy mom a house. $1 million worth, 2 million. We'll keep it modest. But you do it when it makes sense to do it, not just because, okay, I got this money now, I'll spend it.
Blame others, finger pointing time, and lack of discipline. One day,
What's up, Wody Mac?
Y'all going in the chat.
What up? I see Nisi in the building. Sapate, salute.
Well, let me see. I feel we need basic financial literacy. That's what I said. Our culture is not big on that.
Well, but that's the thing. You actually don't. You actually don't. You need basic people skills. This is what you hire people for. Okay? And you need people skills. You need to know who to trust and what the right direction to move in. Just like Gilbert said, yo, you want to move the money forward. You don't need a damn class or whatever to know what that means. Okay? There's no need for me to be investing in older generations that are capable of taking care of themselves. I have to invest in younger generations because, believe it or not, when you're talking about the family business as it pertains to those big wealthy families, the children are the biggest asset. And they'll tell you that. That's why all them kids get trust funds. All property, all assets are usually part of the family trust, and the whole family gets to live on it forever. Like ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Okay? That's why they come with the term trust fund, but yeah. So their children are their biggest assets. You think these parents give their kids trust funds and stuff because they're just generous? No, they understand you can't when you're gone, you can't take it with you. So it's got to go to your kids, even though they're spoiled little brats. You know, they never had to work for anything.
Me Bank said people offer them when they get an extra $5 instead of buying land or creating a business to build millions, maybe even billions of dollars for generational wealth.
Mm-hmm. So it doesn't mean you leave your parents hanging. You do what you can for them, but you do it in a way in which it's smart. You know, you go talk to a financial advisor. Financial advisor will tell you when the best time to do something like that is, or when you need to do it. Now, I would agree with Sugar Bum to an extent. When you're 18 years old, 19 years old, depending on the types of parents you have, whether or not your parents are actually in a situation where they can work together, or you got a certain type of relationship with your mom, dad, whatever the case may be, yeah, you might want to move your parents out there with you. If you got to go to some random city or something like that, live, and you just want to focus on basketball or football or baseball or whatever it is that they paying you millions of dollars to do now. If you got the right parents, because hey, every set of parents ain't right, to go to some new city and have a bunch of money either.
They said, Auntie, would you tell your children to focus on their family and lives, knowing you as a full-fledged adult are responsible for the life you created, or tell them they better take care of you? He hit the button, he'll be back. I want to know the answer to this question, because I think it's a very interesting subject. I've never even thought about it. If my son in the NBA wants to buy me a house, why would I stop him? But do you need it? I feel like is the difference. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you need him to buy it, or is he doing it because he wants to? Because of course, if he wants to, no. But do you need it? Or else you would be homeless, I guess. He can sell my house when I die. The information is out there. Too many people want financial literacy given to them, usually for free. That's how it works. That part, I feel like a lot of people don't even look that up. They don't care. They're just into spending. They say if you want to hide something from somebody, put it in a book. So we know they're not looking up financial literacy to learn anything. Be careful. Teaching the younger generation how to build money and save it and invest it properly. Let's be honest, most Black people are lazy. They want a quick dollar, when and where they can get it. That's what I just said, E-Banks. Yes, I totally agree. But I want to ask Auntie when he get back, what did he exactly mean by not wanting financial literacy as step one and people skills to be step one? So I'm definitely gonna ask him that when he come back. Let me make sure I got your question so I can see it when he comes back. He been having a little technical difficulties. I told my kids to get a job that is according to how grown kids is a problem also. That's very true. Aunt Niecy. What's up? I'm on one. What's going on? We're waiting for Auntie to get back in the building. Meanwhile, I'm gonna drop this link. If anybody want to join the conversation. A man will never tell his son he is responsible for taking care of them. Facts, Raven. I definitely agree with that. I definitely agree with that. That's some female type expectation. Okay, let me go back up here because you got a question, Auntie. No, is that it? Yeah, that's it. You got a question before whatever happened.
Yeah. Don't mind me. My equipment's fucked up.
You straight.
Pardon my French. But okay, so Aunt, would you tell your children to focus on their family and lives, knowing you as a full-fledged adult are responsible for the life you created, or tell them they better take care of you? No, I'm going to tell my children to take care of themselves and start putting things in place for the family they're creating for themselves. No, that's it. Because, I mean, my mission's accomplished. As a parent, what I want to do is I want to raise my children to the point where they don't need me to take care of them. That's it. My child doesn't need me to take care of them anymore. No, at least not financially anyway. I'm here for guidance, but I'm damn sure not here to be taken care of by my child, especially if I'm able.
I got a question too. Okay, so Bank said teaching the younger generation how to build money and save it and invest it properly. Let's be honest, most Black people are lazy. They want a quick dollar, when and where they can get it. So earlier you said that financial literacy is not step one, it's people skills. So kind of go into that a little bit, because I would think financial literacy should be number one.
No, I mean, I think that's another major mistake that a lot of people make. People don't get into things because they don't understand them. Instead of just hiring experts that understand these things, just make sure they're people that you can trust, and make sure that you do things, you put things in place to make sure the left hand is watching what the right hand's doing, you know, and then somebody's also watching the backside and things like that. You understand people skills and you know who it is that you should trust. And also, you know, when to get out of a bad situation and you try not to make bad decisions, you should be all right in the long run. And you learn from the mistakes that you are going to make in life. They're inevitable.
Interesting.
And keep the damage to a minimum. But I think too many people try to be the accountant. They try to be the lawyer. They, you know, they try to be the consultant. They try to be the marketing director. They try to be the advertiser. They try to be the web designer. You know what I'm saying? They try to keep a full, like the jack of all trades is the master of none.
Yeah.
You know, you put the team in place.
Well,
You don't need to become a, you don't need to learn the law. You need to hire a lawyer.
okay, I'm on one. Hey, Big Heavy. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to these content creators in here. Y'all know how I feel about support. Hey, Bronze.
All right, so this simulcast over here is about to end. So what I'm going to need everybody to do, I'm about to spam my chat box right now with this link. So I need y'all to click it and everybody come over. So Bronzeberg, Mel Logic, You know what I'm saying? Bridget Moten, Sugar Bum. I see y'all in the chat. Raven. You know what I'm saying? Diaril. You know, Diari. You know what I'm saying? Come on over, fam. I'm about to end this one right here. And I think E is likely going to open up the panel pretty soon.
Yeah, I dropped the link while you was gone, so they're welcome to come up. We won't grown shit though. Bullshit will be dropped.
Yeah, I need y'all to move over because this is going to end in about 5, 4, 3, 2.
Thanks, Courtney.
Peace. Everybody move over.
Thank you, Aunt Nisi, for those memberships. For sure.
So, Sister Nandy, I see you.
So do you think Beyonce and Jay-Z really needed to buy a $200 million home? These influencers teaching the young how to want material things. That's why it's important.
Can you do me a favor and leave that comment up?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, do me a favor. Just leave that one up. I got it for you. Or star it. We'll go back to it.
All right. Okay. Boom. Uh-oh. Hey, Bronze Bird. Hello, welcome. I'll make sure the rent goes up.
All right. I'm just trying to pull something up here.
No problem.
That was a cool question, though. I like that.
Mm-hmm. Need Banks on fire tonight. Hey, Sarkozy. Trust no one when it comes to your money. Audit everything and everybody. Hey, Bridget. Hey, Male Logic. The things you do to yourself, though, you put more detail on to your liking.
So what you got in the chat?
Hey, Sister Nandi. Much respect to Sister Nandi. Make sure y'all are subscribed to Sister Nandi, okay? What you say, Auntie?
So what you got in the chat? I can't see it. As a matter of fact, you know what? I'm tripping.
You can't see it?
Nah, because the damn battery in my mouse just died.
You're having a lot of technical difficulties tonight.
Oh my God. It pisses me off. But that's my bad because I just realized that it has a damn off switch. So I guess when I'm not using it, I'm supposed to cut it off. No wonder the battery keeps dying. Learn something new every day.
Nee Banks on fire, so you want me to go to her start comment first?
Give me a moment here.
You said you was pulling something up.
Beyonce and Jay-Z took out $52.8 million.
All right, so you could put up her well,
It's
yeah,
okay.
you tell me what you think about her comment.
Okay. I mean, did they need to? No, but I mean, they have the means to do what they want. But definitely teaching that to your kids. I mean, I don't feel like we can really compare ourselves to them in their situation. But I definitely get what she's saying, though, for sure. Her next comment, though, is what's the point of having children if it's to build them to take care of you instead of building to create generational wealth? Not saying I don't love my mother, but the future kids is our future. So she's basically agreeing with what you said as well. We need to
Yeah.
be moving the money forward instead of backwards.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of folks don't really, they're not really focused on anything other than the stuff they can have, rather than the longevity of a bloodline. Just like Sugar Bum said, she's like, yo, you can just sell the house when I die. I'm like, why would if I'm gonna sell it when you die, let's just sell it when you're alive. Like, if the value isn't selling the house, let's just sell it now. If we're doing business, let's just do business. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So what do you need a house for? You need a house to live in? It's all good. Let me ask you, why didn't you have one already? Oh, well, it's not my fault. It's no problem. You just got to wait until my second contract to get it. In the meantime, since I got a little extra, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I'll pay to rent you a crib, whatever. We can do that for 3-4 years. It's easier than me getting some 15 or 30-year mortgage, and being on the hook for $500,000, $1 million damn dollars,
Hey, AC, what's going on?
We'll save a little bit of money. And then when I get that big contract, provided I can stay healthy and get better, provided I can stay healthy, get better, then I can buy you that house easily. And damn, a $500,000 house, I can buy you $1 million house now. But you got to be patient. You got to be patient. And in the meantime, the only thing I need to do is focus on my craft, not buying you a house. Because when you're 19, you got your whole, that should be the only thing that you want your kids to do and focus on. They should be able to focus on
New York Giants, cheap ass mouse. Yes, make sure y'all subscribe to Sister Nandi for sure.
It ain't cheap, dog. But I did have a cheap ass battery in it. I can't lie.
Sugar Bum said, I think people should do whatever they want to with their money.
I agree. Yeah, do whatever you want with it. Whatever you want, not whatever your mother wants you to do with it. Right. Now, if you want to help your mother, go ahead and do that. But hey, when you're talking about finances, especially when these dudes, like, you got to pay them attention. Like Kenyon Martin, 45 years old. I think he's about 45, 46 years old. He's been out of the league for 8 years now. That man is retired. That man got to retire at like age 38, 39 years old. Most people don't get to do that. So when these guys make all this money,
Beyonce
at age 18,
52 point.
At age 18, a lot of them don't realize that this money is not going to come in forever. They're not going to be working until 60, 65, 70 years old like their parents are. Like, if your career is successful, it's over by the time you're 40. Like, it's over by the time you're like 35, 36 years old in the world of professional sports.
Amon said that's also an investment. It's excessive to us that can't afford it, but we always preach real estate is investments and that a home should always sell well.
I mean, not if it's the house that you live in. Not if it's the house that you're living in. Just the ability to be able to get up and go. A lot of times that's going to be the best thing. Keep in mind, you playing for some random team in some random city, you may just have to get up and go. To buy your mother that perfect house that she'll never, ever have to sell for the rest of her life. You need her to wait 3 years. I don't see what the problem is.
Raven says, see, that's how I find in dandy, but new houses not only come with HOA fees, But also property taxes. I've seen over
That's
1,000
fact.
homes put in foreclosure due to mispayment. I'm a lien king.
Yeah, he understands that. So I'm just saying, you talk to nobody has to talk to me because I'm not a financial advisor or anything like that. But the first thing I would tell you to do is you talk to multiple financial advisors for multiple different things. You know.
Mhm.
But if you can bring up that starred comment.
All right, hold on.
Hold up.
Boom.
Okay. So, do you think Beyonce and Jay-Z really needed to buy a $200 million home? These influencers teaching the young how to want material things. That's why it's important parents invest into their kid. Yes and no. TheeEnicole is about to bring up a video that actually explains how that $200 million home, how they bought it, and how they made a shit ton of money from it. Pardon my French again. Go ahead. Go ahead.
We ain't just over here. We grown.
Go ahead.
Jay-Z took out a $52.8 million home loan when purchasing their $88 million mansion in Bel Air. Now, some would say if Jay-Z and Beyonce are worth a combined $2.5 billion, why not just buy the property all cash? Well, let's do the math. If you take the portion that they use as a loan with interest over the course of 30 years, they're paying $31 million in interest. That's a lot. However, if you take the portion that they didn't use as cash to purchase the property and they invested it, and let's just be conservative and say that they invested it in a real estate syndication that would generate an 8% annual return. Well, over the course of 30 years, that's $531 million. So they spend $30 million to gain $530 million. It's genius to use someone else's money.
OPM. That's why they bought. That's how they bought and why they bought a $200 million home. It made them money, but that's because they move in money like that. You know, because they didn't, you know what I'm saying, buy it. They took out a home loan. You want to add anything to that, E? Just know you don't have audio at the moment. But I see what Sapa said.
While I'm talking about you, I'm making my own technical difficulties. No, I was saying when you asked me that question, I said I'm not in the position of Jay-Z and Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? They're in the position to make business moves like that. And it obviously was the reason why they bought the home. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just to be flashy, but I feel like what she's saying is for people who don't know that part of the business, that's what it looks like to them.
Exactly. It looks like it's just a total waste of money. It's like you said, the amount of money that they didn't spend, they were able to, you know, put it in a fund. And granted, that'll be $531 million over the course of 30 years that they'll make in interest with what their interest in dividends or whatever. But hell, it's better than losing money. If you tell me, hey, over the next 30 years, I'm going to make $500 million, I'd be like, yo, where do I sign?
Okay, let's see what the bank said. Said when we say do what you want with your money, only sets us as a generation and race. When we have the mindset you stay broke and dependent on the government funding, it's your money anyway, right?
Well, I mean, I'm always going to tell people do what they want with their money. I'm a salesman, so it's my job to make people want to spend their money with me. So I understand if you spend it, it's got to go somewhere. So spend. I appreciate it. Hit the Cash App, by the way. Hit the super chat, and if you're going to be catching the replay, make sure you hit the super thanks. Thank you so much for the support. And whether you're able to do that or not, please share out the video. Share. Share it on your community tabs. Share it on your IG. Share it from your troll accounts. Share. You got it.
Amon says, I scouted the home I live in before buying it, knowing it will go up 50K over the next 6 months. 4 years later, that multiplied. It's about doing homework and not buying in a location with no motion.
Hmm.
That's smart. Very smart. Most
Makes
people
sense.
don't know to do that though,
It makes sense.
which is their fault. I'm not saying that, I'm not saying that for sympathy for those people, but I think that financial literacy is important though.
Mhm. Oh yeah, I mean, financial literacy is going to be important. Financial literacy is important, but that comes over time.
Right.
If you're a great basketball player, play basketball. Okay, you play basketball. I'm not saying just give your money away, but if you try to do other things and you try to make everybody happy and play basketball, you might as well just be giving your money away. You play basketball and you do business with people you can trust. There are three things that are important, like they're imperative with any business deal, and that is trust, leverage, the ability to negotiate. I've been spitting that since I've been here. If you don't have trust in somebody, you don't have to like them, but you at least have to trust that you know what their best interests are. Okay, and you know that they will protect their own best interest, and you make their best interest yours. But that's the trust that you need to have, that they won't mess with your money. Okay, then you got to have some kind of leverage. You got to have the ability to be able to walk away from the table. You got to be able to say no when you're not able to say no and just walk away. If it's always a deal that you have no choice but to take, you're not in a good situation. And then you got to be able to negotiate. Like, you should really never be saying yes to the first deal that's offered to you.
Yeah.
All right. And then the people that you're doing business with shouldn't either.
When it's only one or two people with all those rooms.
But
I mean, again, we can't tell them what to spend their money on.
Well, no, I mean, I refuse to do business with anybody where those three things aren't involved. I would personally prefer that both me and the other parties, and that me and the other parties involved have the trust, the leverage, and the ability to negotiate, because it just makes business that much better. Because I'm not trying to get over on the people I'm doing business with. Business dealings are supposed to happen where everybody involved feels as though they gained something,
right,
or they won. Nobody should feel like they got screwed. That allows you to do business again. That's how you establish even more trust. Okay, over the course of time. So I think it's a lot of people just don't have the people skills necessary to do business.
Make sure y'all stub up to VENMO. Go visit them in the trenches for sure. Yeah, I definitely don't think like people should count anybody else's pockets. You know what I'm saying? If they have the money to do what they want to do, cool. I think the only thing that they were saying in that clip is basically all these people spending your money for you.
Yeah, I mean, the name of that clip right there is OPM. So other people's money is just the name of the game. It's the name of the game. Whenever you can spend somebody else's money, you don't need to spend yours. It's not even just how America works. It's the way the world works now. It's not about what you got. It's about what you can borrow, your ability to borrow.
Okay, here in Dallas, we have and had got bought up houses that were 30K or more back in the 50s and 60s. Now that we're up to 600,000 due to population growth. Yeah, it's like they're here too.
Mm-hmm. Nothing wrong with that. But like I say, I like the Kenyon Martin situation because, this is a dude that had his accountant. So he was able to pass all of that stuff down to his son. Not only that, his son grew up privileged. So he never had to want for anything. He always had everything. Your dad is the top power forward for the Nets. So he's going to the finals and all types of other stuff. So, the kid came up privileged. So he's not going to be like a kid in a candy store because he gets an NBA contract. He grew up like this. Just like a Steph Curry, for example. Everybody's like, damn, how's he able to stay so calm and so cool and stuff? I was like, the kid was born into this. His dad was an NBA player. Kid never had to want for anything in his life. So all he had to do was focus on his craft and his family. And what do you know?
I think Nee Banks' comment kind of goes into what we was talking about the other day on your show. Shout out to Coffee and Chill. When We had old girl over there talking about the credit card, going on a date with a credit card. Like, you legit don't know what you're talking about when it comes to finances.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she was mad that she got taken on a date and the guy used the credit card. Like, so you have no financial literacy at all, and you just loud and wrong. I
Yeah.
think that's more of the people she talking about that go spend all this money or see these things on social media, want these things, but you're not in a position for that. So you shouldn't even be talking about those people who are in that position.
I mean, why are you trying to take chunks out of your capital reserve? If you don't have enough of it, you can't play the game like that. Just like they said
Right.
when they were talking about the Jay-Z Beyonce thing, the
Mhm.
amount that they would have put down on a $200 million home, because no matter what, even if they got it, they still not paying $200 million cash for that home. They're not going to. They're gonna put like 30 million down on it, but they took out a loan for the whole damn thing, so they can pay it back over the course of 30 years. And then
Yeah.
the 30 million that they were gonna put down, just like you said, they take that cash. You know,
Mhm.
just keep in mind they get a loan for 200 million with no money down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They just put up their royalties or something as collateral. Ain't nothing.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing. So boom, you
Just
take
said
that
that's
30
smart
million.
as fuck, but we wouldn't know that. I wish they would come out and
Yeah.
put people up on game on how to invest and get more money back in return. And
Yeah, well, they
that's
take the
what I'm
30
saying.
million that they would have put down
Mhm.
otherwise. Okay.
Right.
And they put it in a real estate investment account, whatever. And just like he said, I think he was like a 7 or 8% return, annually. That 30
Mhm.
million over the course of 30 years will make $531 million, which is the
Mhm.
same amount of time that you have on that loan for the home that you just bought. So not only is that 30 million, like instead of putting 30 million down on the house, that 30 million will buy the house
Right.
over the course of time and actually pay it off before 30 years is up.
Mhm.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
another
You just
thing that they
let
don't know
one
is
account pay for the other.
and what they don't know is a lot of people, I mean, even something simple as life insurance. That's an investment that you can then take money out and do a lot of these things. So a lot of these people that you're looking at and think they got it like that, no, they just know how to play the game.
Well, yeah, and I mean, it's not even just life; it's everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
I'm just saying
Everything.
something as simple as that. That when
Yeah.
I talk to people, because I do life insurance, they don't even know what they all can do with life insurance.
Mhm.
Raven says,
Yeah.
so it's a huge investment. One must think and keep it. Black folks lose a lot of wealth due to death.
Because they try to buy everything.
Yeah. Hey,
You
Lush.
try to buy everything. People don't calculate for taxes.
Oh,
People
thank you,
People
Lush.
don't. People buy houses and they don't calculate for upkeep,
Hey,
staff.
Ryan,
Like it's one. The price of a $200 mansion is it's that. It's a $200 mansion. But do you know what the upkeep is on a $200 mansion monthly?
Right.
Even if you ain't in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like even if you're not even there for a month, 2 months at a time. Yeah.
He said, but you will still never own it until you have it as an asset, though.
Actually, no, it's an asset as soon as you get that damn loan for it. As soon as you get that loan for it, it's a $200 million house that Jay-Z and Beyonce lived in. It's going to appreciate in value right there. Right there. Okay? So the mansion is worth $215 next year. That's it. You can sell the damn thing in a year if you want to and make $15 million and pay off the damn loan anyway.
Mm.
It's just, you can't lose.
But that goes back to
like at that
That's
point.
why I think financial it's important though.
Well, at that point, Jay-Z and Beyonce, it's not even just like you said, that's other people's money. So their biggest asset in that situation is their damn name because it's what's going to add to the value of that property for them.
Yeah.
Their name is their biggest asset.
Yeah, that's true. That's true too.
Mm-hmm. Because you know what I'm saying, just their name alone makes a house depreciate deeper than any neighborhood me or you could move into, or any house me and you can move into and fix up and put a pool in it and all types of other shit. It's not the same as if Jay-Z and Beyonce lived in it. Tack an extra 30, 40 million on top of that.
Yeah, play ball and get a good accountant.
Get a couple of them. Get a few of them. Because hey, just because you got a good accountant don't mean you could trust a good accountant.
Thanks for
For
the
real.
super chat, AZ King. Appreciate it. For sure. But yeah,
So
these conversations need to be had because I feel like what Nee Banks said is definitely true. Like a lot of people, and again, this is not sympathy to the people because they're not looking it up for themselves, but we do need to have more of these type of conversations because people just simply don't know.
I would have to say I believe that a lot of people are a little too prideful to ask.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely.
I mean, I learned a lot of stuff. I just went into to be honest, I just went into Wells Fargo one day
Mhm.
and just asked to talk to an advisor. And once I
Which
started
most
talking
people
to an
definitely not
advisor,
gonna do.
scheduled some meetings, didn't even do anything. And then I started talking to other advisors at other banks
Mhm.
and started talking about different types of accounts, IRAs, of course, CDs, annuities. There were a lot of things that I was trying to do. So, it's just nice to be able to talk to those people. And then, you start to understand the terminology.
Yeah.
And then it's not like it's like a foreign language to a lot of people at first, which is supposed to be if you don't know. But if you understand numbers, you should be fine. You know that you're making more money than you was making before. You put in such and such, and now you're getting back such and such. So
Yeah,
that makes it a good investment. I always urge people, look, read Rich Dad Poor Dad. If you haven't read the book, read the damn book. That will change your mentality. If you got any damn sense at all. That was Robert Kiyosaki. Just read the book.
I just want to
tell
take a
you the
second
difference
to
between.
tell Lush, prayers out to Lush. I'm sorry for your loss. I just want to say that to her. I rocked with Lush. So prayers to you and your family.
Yeah, my condolences, Lush. Yeah, no pride, just ask. Asking you shall receive. Believe it or not, a lot of successful people, that's the first thing they do is they put it in a book.
Yeah,
they put it in a book.
reading is
They
fundamental.
Well, that's what I say. That was one of the first books that I read. I was about 18 years old when I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and it changed things. It let me know, hey, more than if your parents taught you this and your teachers taught you this, your teachers were full of it. Your parents were full of it. They didn't know any better. It was what it was. So
what you think about this question right here? Nee Banks said, do you think it's better to have money in an offshore account? Like, is it also better to make money in other countries? What do you think about that with the whole BRICS situation? Because basically the dollar has been depreciating and all these other countries are coming together for this one world currency and shit like that. What you feel about how that affects the offshore accounts?
I think if anything, digital currency is going to affect offshore accounts. It just doesn't matter anymore in this day and age. It's the information.
If y'all don't know what BRICS is, definitely look into what BRICS is because they've been working on that.
Brexit?
Huh?
You mean Brexit?
What
Brexit?
they added letters?
I'm sorry?
It was BRICS.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what you mean.
All the other countries
Brexit.
have come together for what?
Okay, so yeah, you're talking about Brexit, Britain's exit from the European Union.
Well, I know that BRICS is all of their countries' acronyms put together. So
the BRICS. Now I know what you're talking about. I got you. I got you. Nah, I know exactly what you're talking about. And they've been
working on that for some time now. Like,
yeah, that's been a long time.
Yeah, not a game.
Nah, that's been a long time, and of course, they're moving all types of stuff between them. But as far as the currency is concerned, I like the way Raven Knight mentioned, Brexit. As far as the currency is concerned, look, you can get different types of currency in different denominations all over the world. But the fact of the matter is, you've got the pound, you've got the euro, you've got the dollar, in that order. Okay. Those are the top ones. All right. So as long as currency is valued or devalued, right now, just that pound is going to be on top of everything.
Right.
It just is. So, you know, it really, as far as currency going, you know, it just not being worth anything here and there. You know, understand what the American dollar, even though it's the world's reserve currency, because for the most part, you know, it's all of our currency is property of the Federal Reserve, and they control, you know, oil and some other stuff. But for the most part, it's not backed by anything. It's backed by our labor. It's backed by our social security numbers, our birth certificates. America's is consumer-based society.
Right.
It's all based on consumerism. There's no gold to back up that money. There's nothing physical, tangible. It's just our blood, sweat, tears, and labor, and the fact that we're going to go out every, you know, holiday season and buy our kids gifts and go into debt and go buy gas guzzling cars. You know, that go through gas way worse than they're supposed to, and we're going to keep doing it, and we're going to buy video games, and we're going to want to look nice, and we're going to want to splurge, and we're going to want to do all of that shit without really producing anything. Just going to work, pushing paper to do it, you know, all day, sitting here on social media talking about it, you know. So at the end of the day, we consume a lot. We consume everything. All of us do. It's America. It's what we do. Most Americans don't produce a damn thing.
Mm-hmm. As he says, I buy everything on cards, but I pay it off each month, so I won't pay interest, and I rent. Interest, and I rent cash back and points for travel. I bet, and that's great for your credit. Like that goes into people not even knowing small things that can boost their whole situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Instead of acting like you.
But I personally don't think it really matters. Yeah, as far as where you stash your money, you know, these days, because you can put it so many different places. You know, it's digital now. Cash money really doesn't make sense. I would recommend people get a hold of some damn commodities. You know, gold, oil, get you some stock in some very, very, very successful damn companies, or some companies that are on the rise. But get a piece of something tangible. But as far as the whole currency thing, I wouldn't bother unless it's the pound or the euro.
Raven said, I'm playing the credit game, keeping my history at excellent status. Great credit makes huge impact on life. And yeah, it's like, instead of acting like you have it, it's very small things that could definitely, you will really have it.
Yeah, gold, silver, you know, something. Nowadays, I'm just saying, nowadays you want to invest in things. They say gold and silver, that's cool. I'm like, you want cobalt, lithium, the stuff that powers cell phone and laptop batteries. The stuff they're still pillaging and plundering Africa for.
Facts.
Stuff they're actually fighting wars over. You want to get a hold of some of that stuff.
He said, I ain't that frugal. If I could buy a mansion, I would, just for the sake of having one. If I could maintain it until I pass it on. Live your best life. We build as many mansions here. We call them McMansions. I would act brand new on it. Live streams from my guest bathroom, their kitchen fireplace. Go ahead, Auntie.
Now I'm reading a comment. I'm on one. If you can put that up, I'm on one. Myfa.
Let me see. Make YouTube fun again. He said, Myfa.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me
Sorry, make YouTube fun again. I'm just reading it. My bad. Salute.
Hold on, let me find it.
YouTube ain't been fun for me in a while.
Oh,
It's like 3 comments up from the bottom.
All right, hold on. Sorry for everybody. I'm skipping. There's a lot going on here. Let me see. I'm on right here.
Yeah. China is not even the manufacturing power they were a decade ago. Mexico is the new China, as long as the countries that have what we need and they have we I'm sorry, and they have we need are in business, then the dollar is okay. I think I get that. As long as the countries that have what we need and what we need is business, then the dollar is okay. I mean, the dollar is okay just because it's above so much other currency in the world. That's it. That's why I think it's okay. See, the thing about all right, and feel free to open up the panel if you want to for this. The thing about like something that Raven Knight mentioned earlier, and I was about to touch on was Brexit.
Can one of the mods pin the link? Because I've been dropping it. The doors are definitely open.
Yeah. So Brexit, which was Britain's exit from the European Union, a few years back, what was it, like 20 years ago or something like that? Pretty much Europe went to the euro. There was a time when different countries in Europe had different currency. You know what I'm saying? France had the franc, and other, countries had different currency and stuff. And then everybody went to the euro. But Britain didn't primarily go to the euro. They still kept the pound because it still valued it more than anything else. Okay, as far as currency is concerned. Still valued it anything else. So when they exited the European Union, what people don't understand, well, I'm not even gonna say people don't understand that. There's no United States of Europe, for a reason. They're different countries, and even though they're different countries, you don't need a passport if you're a citizen of any of those countries. You pretty much go back and forth because it's all, well, at least it was all kind of knitted together with the European Union. Okay. Which is kind of like the federal government or something like that. But that's what they have, the European Union. Either way, when Britain decided to exit the European Union, there were a lot of guidelines and stuff that now they do not have to follow, such as, like overseas manufacturing, tariffs, stuff like that. So when you look at it, where General Motors, for example, may have a manufacturing plant over in Britain, where the European Union regulation said that, hey, they had to pay their employees a certain amount of money. There were also people that were probably citizens of France, Germany, whatever, living in Britain, working at these factories and stuff. As soon as Britain exits, now all of a sudden people need a passport. People can need a passport to come from other countries into Britain. Those that aren't, British citizens can end up being deported. But also, something like that can actually crash the rest of the world's currency because so many different countries do business with Britain. Okay, as far as that's concerned, it can crash other currencies. Now, how does that benefit Britain? It would actually crash theirs too, but because theirs is already 30% further above anything that's close to it, they would still be above everybody.
Raven says, y'all forget we make money on wars. That's why our dollar is very flexible. If we need the money badly, wartime almost always hits. And that's definitely a fact.
Yes and no, because wars aren't fought the same way they used to be fought when money was made.
They make a lot of money though.
No, those aren't real wars. Those are raids. They just go take what they want.
They still making money though, because
they're actually stealing it.
So I mean,
when they do
semantics.
Yeah. No, they're stealing it. I'm talking about like, and I understand, but they're stealing money. But as far as, you're not going to get in any wars with superpowers, because any war with superpowers,
right.
It's just not going to happen, because it's the end of the world if that happens.
I never had the desire to spend too much to look rich when I've always been rich.
Well, I mean, wars are fought in boardrooms. In global economic markets now, they're not fought on battlefields anymore. They're just not.
Unless they needed passports not to get to the UK. Start your kids off with
What
good
did Raven
credit.
say? It was they need passports to get into the UK now. So they changed that already. I knew it was coming, and that was going to change things. So what they're able to do is cripple. This will damn near cripple the surrounding European countries. Okay, and it can also devalue a lot of currency around the rest of the world too. You know, and for the most part, Britain doesn't give a damn because all currency can decline and the pound will still be above everybody else's. So I mean, it was a brilliant move on their part, I guess.
Who? The UK?
Yeah. Because that's the way wars are fought. Make strategic moves, but all of that, hey, I declare war. We're just going to come in with tanks and guys with AKs. Those days are over unless some nation or city has something they want to steal.
So war is dirtier now. They used to care about the civilians.
Yeah.
Investment.
It's a lot of different.
Yeah, as many has caused again. You make money during the wars.
I mean, Boeing, for the most part, has always been a damn good. Even after September 11th, it was still a pretty damn good investment. It's a lot of different directions you can go in. Like I said, there's more than one way to skin a cat. I just always tell people, and Raven, they should be raging about it. But I just always tell people, you do what you love what you do, you focus on your niche. If something is not your niche, you go talk to somebody whose niche it is.
So Canadians must have a passport now to get into the UK. Is due to the migrant/Muslim situation.
I like the way she said, what about IT and AI investments? Just my opinion. I personally don't do tech. Like less than 1% of my portfolio is tech. Okay. I don't like it. Technology. I personally just don't like it as a market. It's damn near impossible for me to chart. I try to kind of make moves and pivots, and with technology, there's always some new technology replacing it. So I don't know what the hell to invest in. I don't know. That's just me personally. I'm very, very conservative when it comes to business investing. If I'm not the one that's in charge, I'm extremely conservative.
So what would you tell a beginner who wants to get into investment? What would you tell them should be like their entry level to investment? What type of product?
What you do is you find a sector, kind of like you do. You find a sector that you enjoy, and you study it. You study it. Pay attention to some of the companies. Understand how things are moving. Understand what's connected to what. How one thing is going to affect another. My retirement portfolio, 80% of it is in pharmaceuticals. And that's just something that I've noticed. Drugs sell, and they always have. That's just me.
When I'm on mute,
I watched what happened when Apple unveils a watch. When Apple unveils a watch and the stock skyrockets, and then I see it plummet when the talk about a battery shelf life comes out. The fact that I use my watch to power my pacemaker, but what happens if the damn battery in my watch dies? I mean, my heart might stop. Oh, you got to fix that. Then the stock plummets, because of that. And then it kind of just evens out at the end of the damn day. I can't deal with tech. It's crazy. And there's always some company that comes out of nowhere.
Brian says, my good friend, she already has her children set. They only 9 and 11, and they have a trust with assets in their name and will never have to work for anybody.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Definitely is. I'm definitely going to set my daughter up for the win.
Well, people think a lot of people wonder how we give and donate money, weapons, money and weapons to the Ukraine and Israel. But the question is, where does that money come from? Well, they extorted Ukraine for weapons and money. Joe Biden is actually on the record for talking to the press and pretty much extorting them for $1 billion in military aid years ago. So I'm pretty sure they're still doing that. And I'm not at liberty to speak on Israel. But they own a big portion of the U.S. too. So I would suggest looking into GE because Matheson will end folks' jobs. You read it here first. I mean, of course, like I say, you want blue chips, but you just pay attention to things. You know, a good person to talk to, if anybody knows him in the space, that's Kev504. I talked to Kev504 about what he does in the stock market. He has a channel where he talks about the stock market, and it's from an average individual's perspective. And he's self-taught, but he's extremely astute. And he'll tell you, he's like, man, I ain't go to school for any of this stuff. I just paid attention to what the hell was going on. He was like, I noticed all of these self-checkout spots popping up. Like all of these damn places were starting to go to, self-checkout. And not only that, everybody's got to have a credit card terminal. So he invested in Verifone because they were the ones making all the damn terminals. And then when he realized that, the technology or whatever, whoever made the technology that was allowing you to tap and chip and all of that other stuff, you invest a little bit in that too. Because, hey, these machines don't work without that stuff. It's got to work. Boom, 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 boom. He saw a profit. Then he moved on. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to be a genius. Warren Buffett even has a book too, where he said straight up, man, you can have 160 IQ and take like half of that and just give it to somebody else, because you don't need it to do what he does. You don't. Just straight up, if you're going over a bridge that says maximum load 10,000 pounds, don't go over it with 11,000 pounds on you, or don't even go through it with 9,900. Be safe. Once they get approval, they'll turn on the printer and print money. Yeah. Now you're right. Which means it's not even money, man. It's just debt favors. But like I said, this is I know this is like a boring conversation. So it's all good. I mean, I could talk about how shady and crooked, the United States of America is when it comes to just what they do. I mean,
boring conversation at all.
I mean, you gotta ask yourself how somebody like Joe Biden that has never hasn't worked a job in the last 50 years, that's paid him more than $300,000 a year on paper, how the man could be worth over $1 billion.
Right. How?
And you're supposed to be a servant of the people the whole time.
Right.
Where's money coming from?
Going on with Trump right now. Like, he's not finna, these things that they about to charge him for, that's not gonna be a dent in what he got going on.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, you go to prison. Yeah, you go to prison, it's not gonna be a good thing.
You think he gonna go?
I'm sorry. It depends. He gonna have to learn to play ball. That's just my opinion. I believe that he really wasn't part of the plan, but like he was part of the plan before when he got in, but he wasn't part of the plan. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, all right. There's an old saying that says, look, if you owe the bank $1 million, the bank owns you. All right.
Mm-hmm.
But if you owe the bank $1 billion, then you own the bank. So if I'm not mistaken, Donald Trump was in debt to the banks like $8 or $9 billion. Like you owed him $9 billion. Like you think you a broke one, but this man was negative $9 billion with a B. So he thought they were gonna repossess every damn thing, screw him over. They call him. Well, he actually walks home from like Fifth Avenue to Park Avenue in the rain one night. It's in his book, How to Get Rich. But they call him the next day and tell him to come down to the bank. And they got a plan as far as what he needs to do. And they give him $3 billion and tell him pretty much go get our money. Like, for real, what you think they're going to do? You think they're going to write that off as a loss? They're not going to write that off as a loss. They want that damn 9 or 8 or however much he lost back.
Mm-hmm.
On his messed up casino ventures and all of this other stuff around the world. And the man said it in his books originally. If I ever went broke, I would run for president. And then what do you think he did?
Right. Mm-hmm.
That's why it was so easy to go at the people that he went at, because they was richer than him.
Mm-hmm.
You knew that?
Raven said the president has a trick up his sleeve. He can request for a platinum coin, which can resolve our debt in a single day. All presidents have this power. They never use it.
Hey, just like you said, yeah, you owe the bank 50 million, we have a problem. That's facts. You owe the bank 5 billion, you own the bank. Like, they work for you now. You know what I'm saying? They work for you now. It's no different than loan sharking or just like pretty much just stuff that goes on the streets. You know what I'm saying? They'll put you back in the game so you can get them their damn money back. They're not trying to eat $9 billion or $10 billion or whatever it was he was behind. So next thing you know, he runs for president. When he runs for president, there's certain constituency of the bank. And not only that, and this is all alleged, by the way, I don't want to get nobody in trouble. But there's certain constituency of the bank, certain people he's going to have dealings with, that as the president, he can make certain moves. He can do certain things. He can put certain things in place. He can sign specific executive orders and stuff like that give certain people tax breaks and tax cuts in the right spot that may not cost you or save you anything because you're a normal person. But other than, on the other side, those people stand to make, save, or lose, $15, $20 million. Some of them like $20 million a damn day. The types of money that these companies and people are moving. $2, $3, $4 million a day, $100 million in taxes a year. You know what I'm saying? That he's able to make moves and save these people. So just understand, like, politicians supposed to work for you. So listen to them damn speeches if you want to. It's all fluff. Find out who they work for, see what their best interests are, and either vote for what's in your best interest, but regardless of what the damn outcome is, make moves for what's in your best interest. I see a lot of people that see election results, they either get happy or they get mad. And it's like, you ain't supposed to get mad. You're supposed to get to work, regardless of who wins or loses.
Exactly.
Get to work. For real.
I think that's a great place to put a bookmark. We're going to be here every week. You know what I'm saying? We having an after party over at Auntie's tonight. Just kick back, but we definitely gonna have grown conversations every Wednesday. Like, we got things to talk about. Not gonna. It's definitely a time for bullshit and a time for real shit, and that's what I'm about, real shit. So, I'm glad.
That sounds good if you want to move it over.
Yeah. Thanks for coming through, y'all. Like I said, we'll be here every Wednesday, 8 o'clock. We finna move back over to NT's for the after party.
Yeah, now we scheduled. I'm about to push it up. We were scheduled for a half an hour from now.
Yeah, I need to be a mother real quick and you know,
I thought that could wait.
get situated. Huh?
I was just playing.
I'm glad you love it here, Banks. Make sure y'all tap that like button on y'all way out. But we definitely gonna be doing this on a regular basis. Yeah. Thanks for coming through. Hit that like button on your way out. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. We got a lot of things going on over here, and I'll see y'all at NT's. We out of here.
Welcome to my galaxy. Welcome to my galaxy. This is TheeEnicole. You can always call me E, but don't never call me Nicole. Your presence is appreciated. Please be sure to hit that like button and that subscribe. It's always a vibe. In my galaxy.
Hey, it's Shyt Ep3 from Ready to Love, and you are watching my girl, TheeEnicole.
Tasha Lyons telling you to tune into TheeEnicole.
This is Samson from Ready to Love, and you're tuned into TheeEnicole.
It's Winter from Love Marriage DC, and you're tuned in to TheeEnicole.
Make sure you guys subscribe to TheeEnicole. She